How's it going, guys? So today I'm going to be replacing the lift pump on this John Deere diesel generator, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so first we're going to clamp, just compare the new part and the old part. I'm going to take this, I already loosened it, to this, and there's going to be a bolt on each side, and that should be it. We'll take that out and I'll go from there. So I've got a little rag here, hopefully that'll be enough to catch a little bit of fuel that comes out. Alright, so it's hard to do it with two hands, but essentially I had to hold this nut at the same time and then loosen this, so that was what I had to go through there. Just hard to do with two hands. Should be able to like this. Okay. This part should just pull off. Okay. And this, I think I'll have to loosen that as well so that I can get this removed. Okay, so there we go. Loosening this. I can get that out of my way. So I have this line off and this line off. I'm going to go for these bolts on the side, and that should be it. It should pull right out. It's hard to do this with one hand. I just wanted to show you just a simple, ratchet, socket. And yeah, I'll just show it when I'm done. It's hard to do this with two hands. Alright, so now we have that off. You can see the little thing in there. That's how it pumps. Got two parts. So I'm just going to put this one back in the same way that it came out. Well, it's got this O-ring in here. I think I might put some oil around that just to kind of seal it nice. Yeah, I think I'll do that, and then we'll put our lines back on, and then I'll bleed it. So I think really what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my dipstick. I'm going to put maybe a little bit on the underside of this, and then I just kind of put a little bit of oil around it. Pretty straightforward. Just kind of do that, and that should give it a nice little seal. It won't tear or disform. And that should do that. And then I'm just going to put it back on there and bolt it back up the same way I took the old one off. Okay, so I've got these bolts on nice and snug. You don't want to go crazy tight, obviously. Just, get them really snug on there. I've got this line coming back on. These lines do have these grommets here. Normally I would recommend replacing those every time, but I don't have them, so I just left the old ones on and hope for the best. Hopefully it won't leak. And when we do this, of course, we're going to go hand tight to thread them on, just to make sure you don't strip it. If you strip these, you're gonna have a bad day. So always hand tight for any bolt, really. I even did that with these. Start them hand tight, and then you do the wrench the rest of the way. And we'll do the same with these lines. And then I'll take my crescent wrenches and tighten these back up. And that should be it. That's a two-hand job, so I'm going to be putting the camera down. And you'll just have to fill in the gaps in your mind. So I've got my Just I guess I put it on there without showing you. So on my hose here, I took my little rubber cap that came with the new part off of there, and we just kind of slide this on. I like to match the indentations that have been made in the hose before. I don't like to make new indentations, you know. I think it risks a, you know, tear or weird deformities that might leak. So I, you know, match the clamp up where it was on the old part, and we'll tighten that down and we'll start our bleeding. Alright, so I've got this bleeder loose. I got my little pump, and I'm just gonna pump, and I don't want to see those air bubbles. I'm gonna tighten that a little bit. So there's no bubbles. So it's looking pretty good. I don't see any bubbles. It's just a solid stream of fuel. So I'm gonna say it's doing pretty good. All right, I'm gonna kind of clean up the fuel around the filter and on the floor that spilled a bit, and we're gonna see if it runs. We'll just run it. If it runs good, then job complete.